My stuff just fell out. Hey there, fellas. So today we'll be conducting yet another little experiment. A slightly crazy one. I don't know if you've seen such photos or no. Anyway, I'd like to improvise and make a pacing wheel like this one using some sneakers. Here's what I've got to do the job. A rim, of course. A welder. We still have to go to the store to get some sneakers, though. I haven't bought them yet, since we still have to figure out the size. In order for us to make it somewhat larger, I mean, space in the wheel arches is obviously limited. We fabricated some spacers. We've trimmed them down a bit using a lathe to make them nice and even. I'll carefully weld them to the wheels right in this spot. Afterwards, I'll cut up the wheel itself to get rid of the bulk of it. And here's where we'll be placing the legs themselves, donning the shoes. I reckon this will be pretty interesting, even putting everything together. So yeah, enough talk, let's get stuck into it. What are you? Shoed wheels for Shorty. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. So anyway, fellas, we'll be needing some rolling stock for our experiment. We've got a great store here with a huge inventory. What do we got here? My wisecracking buddy's calling. Anyway, so we've made it over here and found some awesome sneakers, which cost literally peanuts. There you have it. This ain't no commercial. This ain't a commercial. Anyway, so we'll be buying... How many do we need? Like 8 pairs? We won't be able to find identical shoes, but we don't really intend to anyway. We'll mix and match, and put these sneakers through their paces. Alright, let's scoop them up and go. So yeah, guys, here's the situation. This actually isn't too difficult. First off, you have to outline everything. Measure everything out carefully using this... I don't know, we just had a piece of plastic lying around, which we used as a drawing board. Yeah, we put it to good use. And we end up with a couple of wheels like these. They do look a bit like swastikas, admittedly. Anyway, fellas, if you'd like to try something similar, don't forget, you'll need a left wheel and a right wheel. In other words, these insteps need to be angled in different directions. Anyway, what do we got here? Everything's looking great. Here we have our entire array of sneakers. We've already tried a few of them on, just so we can have a look at how they fit. They actually fit beautifully. Anyway, the profile of this tubing is like 40 mil by 40. And after fitting that their white sneaker and trying to tie it up, well, it's obviously not a tight fit. It's loose despite the shoe being completely laced up. These are a pretty big size, somewhere around 11, give or take. So yeah, they're all a bit different. We grabbed whatever that store had in stock. Anyway, here's what we're gonna do. We'll carefully fit each and every one of them, tie them down. As you can imagine, in order for a sneaker to hang on to such a box section, You might remember that we have quite a bit of foam left, so we'll be filling them with some construction foam and squashing them from the inside. That way they'll sit nice and tight. Okay, let's do this. Okay, here's what we've got. We filled each and every sneaker with some foam, and it's looking great. I mean, we were able to get a lot of foam in there. It still hasn't dried as of today, so we'll leave it for the night. Tomorrow, actually, maybe we give it even a bit more than that. Right, we'll make our way over here tomorrow at about lunchtime, get the car out, then screw these on, keeping in mind which is left and which is right. After that, we go for a drive. Don't go anywhere. So here's what we've got here, fellas. The foam is hard, everything's looking good, and the sneakers are nicely swelled up from the inside. As you can see, I've covered them with some baggies. And right now, I mean, we do have to make these sneakers look trendy. So I've taken a spray can with some golden paint, and I'm going to be turning this shit into gold. Let's do this. Anyway, guys, here's what we've achieved. Everything's looking fantastic. Take a look at those fancy wheels. They're pretty much golden, got some bling going on. As you can see, we'll be installing these onto our Shorty. A lot of you have been asking, what's up with Shorty? Well, things are actually going quite well. We're working on it. As you can imagine, this is a tedious process since there is a lot of fabrication involved. For example, have a look at our door frame solution. We beefed it up so that it doesn't jiggle. We used a box section for some extra rigidity. You can still see it since we haven't finished yet. Dennis is the one doing the work. He has a shop called Swap Tuning Service. So yeah, he's the mastermind behind all this. It's all going pretty well. Except for this. Right, I'll be right back. Anyway, fellas, everything seems to be in order now. No more squeaking. The doors open and close. Anyway, enough lubrication. I guess now we find a decent road with some more or less smooth pavement. Although every year it is getting much more difficult to find some. But that's not the point. Anyway, now we go throw on these wheels and go for a ride. Let's do this. So yeah, guys, we've installed the wheels. They fit just fine. So our calculations turned out to be okay. We're looking good. The sneakers are all in place. Right, now we fire it up and go for a test drive. Far out. It drives. Awesome. Just like an old-fashioned wagon. Right. Anybody want to go for a ride? It's not bad. We'll destroy the suspension before we make it back. Okay, you get away from the car now. My stuff just fell out. This is a nightmare, man. I have to hold the gauge cluster so that it doesn't fall out. You know what this feels like? As if you're driving not on wheels, but... I don't know, as if this was an old beat-up wagon and you're driving on cobblestones. The entire car is shaking. Everything starts to fall off if you give it a bit of throttle. The gauge cluster, the seats and doors are jumping up and down. But it's all good. These are some nice wheels. What else can I say? We saw problems after going just 100 meters. These high-quality shoes at an unbelievable price from that megastore started falling apart. Not all of them, strangely enough. Some of them are just slightly damaged, while others didn't fare so well. Maybe because I started giving it some beans, I don't know. Anyway, that's not the point. What's more important is that they're falling apart already. What can I say? If we were to measure the radius and roll the tubing so that it would be curved rather than straight, we'd eliminate the shakiness. It would still be harsh, but not nearly as bad. But as you know, we always choose the hard way. Always going full ghetto. Anyway, guys, this went pretty well. Here's what we'll be doing. We'll get in the car together with the camera guy, with the camera, stabilizer and everything, and check out whether the stabilizer can compensate for the shakiness. I'm gonna take him for a spirited drive. Right, so now we're inside. Now we start the car and go for it. Right. Let's go! We'll make our way onto the big road. Maybe get bystanders to laugh. Out of my way now! We've actually created a traffic jam. We've got 2 cars following us. Looks like that Subaru stalled. Those old ladies over there are laughing. Maybe a bad road won't be such an ordeal. Check it out! On a gravel road, it's not as bad. We made it! I can't believe it. Everything's good. I'm digging it. When you get off the asphalt, it does seem to drive a tad softer. Not so many violent jolts going on. It still jumps around. Anyway, let's get out and go have a look at the sneakers. Anyway, guys, I rode around, I showed you what's up. You can ride around on wheels like these, not only on a bicycle. As you can see, the sneakers did fall apart, but not all of them. Those that did, well, they probably went over some cracks or pebbles or something, which obviously took a toll on them. All in all, they do look okay, though. So yeah, that's it for today. I had fun. Hopefully you did too. Watch our videos, subscribe, comment, send your suggestions, and see you later.